ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
As we head into the weekend, there is confusion over the CDC's announcement yesterday that fully vaccinated people no longer need to wear masks. In our state, the mask mandate is still in place. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on this busy Friday night. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. As of now, the governor is saying California's mask mandate will go away on June 15th. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo shows us one local business owner who is just hoping people will understand the rules.
The CDC's mask guidance does not supersede any county or state mandate, and that is what's leading to the confusion.
My mind almost immediately goes to this is going to be a potential conflict within the store.
Austin Davis, the general manager of Seaside Market, says he was happy to hear the CDC's recommendation Thursday that fully vaccinated people don't need to wear a mask, seeing it as a sign life is returning to normal.
So I guess I'm a little nervous about the potential conflict that's going to provide.
The CDC's recommendation specifies that we can lose the mask unless it's required by state or local mandates, which California and San Diego County still have in place.
I expect that because of that, we're going to be put in the awkward position of having to enforce a policy that we are really not equipped to enforce.
Davis is no stranger to conflict over mask use. In February, a group of people went into Seaside Market and refused to wear their masks, yelling at employees and customers, and started eating food without paying for it. The sheriff's department had to be called. Davis hopes this time people will just follow the rules.
We are still beholden to the mandates by the state and the county.
Friday, giant retailers like Trader Joe's, Costco, and Walmart announced vaccinated customers will no longer have to wear masks. But at those stores in San Diego County, masks must stay on for now. For Davis's smaller business, he just hopes customers understand they're not the ones making the guidelines.
Without everyone working together, I don't know how we would have made it through this pandemic, and I'm just glad to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
The county will start letting 12 to 17-year-olds get vaccinated without a parent present if they bring a signed consent form. The county is working on putting that form on its website this weekend. It is not required if the parent or guardian is present at the vaccination.
The county's extension of the moratorium on evictions is being challenged in court. The law, set to take effect June 3rd, only allows a landlord to evict a tenant if that person is causing a health or safety threat to others in the home. But a federal suit filed by a group representing landlords claims the ordinance strips owners of their rights to use and control their own properties. It also claims the County Board of Supervisors exceeded its authority. A judge must now decide if the new law will take effect while the lawsuit plays out. Our daily cases jumped to 261 today, while our test positivity rate also rose to 2%. And 3 more San Diegans have lost their lives to COVID. That brings our total to more than 3,700.
A potentially disastrous situation avoided at Lindbergh Field. The FAA is now investigating a near miss between 2 passenger airplanes last night. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Perez spoke with an aviation expert who's baffled at how this could have happened.
It's unclear how close the 2 planes got to each other, but we know one plane was landing, the other was on the runway getting ready to depart. It was a late flight into San Diego and a late departure that set the scene for a near miss at Lindbergh Field Thursday around 10:30 p.m. An Alaska Airlines flight operated by SkyWest was landing at San Diego after leaving from Portland. The plane can hold 76 passengers, but we don't know how many were actually on board. The other plane was a Delta Airlines flight leaving for Detroit. That plane can hold up to 234 passengers, though we don't know if it was a full flight. It was cleared onto the runway, where it sat for about 3.5 minutes due to a mechanical issue. Flight radar shows what happened next. This dip shows the SkyWest plane got to just about 200 feet off the ground when it got the order to abort the landing and circle around. Aviation expert Glenn Wynn told ABC 10 News over the phone that's not an easy feat.
Because of the speed of coming in for a landing and your drop and so on, then it's still incredible to me that they recovered that aircraft. there wasn't a disaster.
The Delta flight took off safely from the airport, and the Alaska Airlines plane also landed safely after its go-around. But it's still unclear how the near miss happened.
That's a good question, because you have visual flight rules with this. They weren't flying instruments, that's for sure. You had two very alert crews, and hopefully an alert tower in operation.
And we've reached out to both airlines. Delta says they followed directions from air traffic controllers and referred us to the FAA. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
There have been deadly crashes in the past years involving similar circumstances. One happened back in 1991 when a U.S. air flight collided with a SkyWest plane on an LAX runway. The SkyWest flight was told to taxi into takeoff position on the same runway as the U.S. air flight, which was landing. 35 people were killed in that crash. The NTSB determined mistakes in the LAX control tower were to blame.
The next phase of repairs on the Del Mar Bluffs begins next week. A massive chunk of the bluffs came down in late February. Crews will now clear vegetation, remove debris, and build support berms. Temporary concrete barriers will also be installed to protect beachgoers. Crews plan to build new seawalls along 4th Street later this summer, and the entire project is expected to be finished by the fall.
This is dramatic new video from inside an Israeli military jet blowing up a building the Israeli government claims has ties to Hamas. There were more rocket strikes from Gaza into Israel as well, even as the U.S. and Egypt try to broker a ceasefire. ABC's Matt Gutman shows how the violence is spreading beyond Israel's borders.
Overnight, that Israeli assault from land, sea, and air, the most ferocious in nearly 7 years. The Israeli Air Force swarming Gaza, over 160 warplanes used. In this drone video, towering blast columns flash through the night. Israel says it targeted a 1,000-mile network of tunnels honeycombing Gaza, which function as Hamas's nerve center. In Gaza today, buildings obliterated, thousands fleeing to UN-run schools, which are considered off-limits to Israeli bombardment. And on the streets, our team met 7-year-old Diana. She was one of those forced to flee. Diana says, they started shooting and I was scared. They kept shooting, and our home was damaged. I didn't know what to do. Overnight, for the first time since 2014, dozens of Israeli tanks and howitzers nosing up to the Gaza border, shelling all night and into the day.
Just in the past few minutes, we saw a rocket launched out of Gaza, heard the booms of Israeli airstrikes, some artillery sounding. This conflict right now seems far from over.
Palestinian militants have fired close to 2,000 rockets into Israel the past 4 days, most of them knocked out of the sky by Israel's Iron Dome interceptors.
So if this battery weren't here, what would happen?
There's no doubt that there would be significantly more Israeli casualties and destruction.
The violence spreading. Heavy clashes between Palestinian protesters and the Israeli military in the West Bank, leaving at least 10 Palestinians dead and hundreds wounded there today. In Lebanon, dozens of protesters setting fires and trying to crash through the border fence into Israel. Meanwhile, in Jordan, police dispersing demonstrators chanting, "To Jerusalem we march, martyrs by the millions."
This is the first time in decades that there has been so much tension on so many fronts. Rockets landing in Israel from Syria, those clashes on the Lebanese and Jordanian borders, the violence we saw in the West Bank, and of course the war in Gaza. All of this makes the diplomatic efforts of the U.S. envoy who just touched down here and others that much more critical to try to broker a lasting truce. Matt Gutman, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
Back here at home, Colonial Pipeline is back up and running after last week's massive ransomware attack. With fuel flowing through the pipeline from Texas to New Jersey, gas stations are slowly coming back online. Still, drivers are lined up for miles in the southeast as summer travel begins. Colonial Pipeline says it could be days before fuel supplies are restored.
Makes you kind of realize how fragile we are as a society. Like this one little incident is all it took to kind of break down.
ABC News has confirmed a report from Bloomberg that Colonial Pipeline that is, paid a ransom in the low millions to the hacking group called DarkSide. The FBI has encouraged private companies not to pay such ransoms as it encourages more attacks.
Congressmember Liz Cheney is speaking with ABC News about being voted out of the Republican Party's leadership. Cheney has been outspoken about former President Trump's role in inciting the January insurrection at the Capitol. She says his attack on American democracy is destroying the Republican Party.
I think the issue really is Donald Trump, and it really is the party, and whether we're going to be a party that's based on the truth.
House Republicans voted to remove her from leadership. They say her attacks against Trump distract the party from opposing President Biden's liberal policies. Cheney says she regrets voting for Trump and wouldn't support him if he was nominated again.
I will do everything that I can to make sure he's not the nominee, and everything necessary to make sure that he never gets anywhere close to the Oval Office again.
And you can watch more of the interviews Sunday morning on This Week.